Welcome to the Soul Dive. My name is Lebo. I am your host. This is my friend Banele Bubu, the owner of Coffix, and that's who is our guest for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. In perfect Soul Dive fashion, we begin every Soul Dive with a tune-in. This is a time where we take a break, we pull ourselves towards ourselves, we relax a little bit. So come with me, let's do this. First, we put our feet flat on the ground. Make sure that you are comfortable. Making a nice long posture, but relaxed also. Don't strain yourself. Just relax. Bring your shoulders a little bit down. Okay. If you want, you're welcome to close your eyes. I like to close my eyes because it just allows me my personal space for a moment. Give yourself permission to relax, relax, relax. Relax from the top of your head. Relax the brow. Relax the shoulders. Feet firmly on the ground. Your seat comfortable, firmly planted there. Taking a nice deep in breath from the stomach and out. Another one, deep in breath and out. One more time. And you hold it and sigh out. One more deep in breath and out. And we find our normal breathing rhythm. I invite you to place a hand over your heart, finding your heartbeat, being aware of your physical presence in this space. Aware of your breath. As your breath is coming in, you're aware it's coming in. As it's going out, you're aware it's going out. You're also aware of your heartbeat as a sensation and as a feeling. Finding your normal breathing rhythm. Of course, we are having thoughts. We let the thoughts come and go just like we would walking down the street as we encounter people. We don't give them importance though. Focusing on our breath, focusing on our heartbeat. Giving ourselves permission to relax. Aware of your breath coming in cold, going out warm. You're aware of your breath coming in one nostril, going out the other. Taking this moment to be with yourself. Now, silently or out loud, say these words with me. I love myself.
I love myself. I can say that out loud.
I support myself.
I support myself.
I accept myself.
Yeah, I accept myself.
Take a nice deep in breath from the stomach one more time, raising your hands as you do. Bringing your hands back over your shoulders, hand over shoulder, giving yourself a nice, easy hug. Go ahead and smile yourself for loving yourself in such a way.
Yeah, I'm limited in a bit.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay. And thank you for doing the exercise anyway. You did the thing.
Yeah.
What did it do? You feel more relaxed.
Yeah.
More chilled.
Yeah, more chilled.
That's fantastic. That's the point. Okay, so
once there's the camera, there's always a bit of intimidation.
It's just a conversation between friends. Okay, I want you. Okay, I've already said that this is Banele Bubu, the owner of Coffix, ne? But I'd very much like it if you told us a little bit who you are, not your CV, but who you are in your own head. You know, how you experience yourself. Who's Banele Bubu? Who's this entrepreneur that's here today?
Wow. So many people. I see them as big. Mostly, I still feel the journey has just begun. There's still a lot to be covered, and some things need to be learned. So, yeah, being regarded as an entrepreneur, business, while you're still working on it.
But you're owning the business as you're working on it.
I suppose. You put it like that.
Like they say, we're not where we used to be, but we are not where we used to be, even though we are not where we want to be. But we celebrate where we are.
Trust me. The day it hits the million mark, I'm celebrating. Like,
Is that your number?
Me, I'm a business owner.
I'm a business owner. Now you'll be a business
owner. You can call me an entrepreneur anytime.
Yeah, you are the people that give a complex because a person starts a business and they're like, am I even doing a business if I haven't made $1 million yet?
Maybe you're not the figure, but you need to have done the work to earn the title, I think. Sometimes we just feel like because I've done the registration part, on paper I'm the director.
Right.
Well, how much direction have
How
you?
much direction have you actually? Yes. What have you directed lately?
Some things need
You
to
directed
be
a cup of coffee.
That I'm good. Over the years, I've been growing very well in that space.
Yeah.
And it's been quite a very interesting journey. Why coffee?
Would you call yourself a barrister?
Yeah.
Yes.
Barrister,
what goes into calling yourself? Okay, you've earned that. Okay, you're happy to be.
Yes.
All right, tell us.
Look, being a barista is just the guy who makes coffee. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And that is not only behind the espresso machine. You can easily be using manual brewing tools. And there's also more to it than just making the coffee.
Yeah.
Being that guy who sells it, engaged, give the customer an experience around coffee.
Yeah.
So pretty much that. Training is necessary in the space.
Okay.
I mean, there's basic training on how to operate the equipment and the machine, understanding how the relationship between coffee and other liquids like water and milk.
The relationship between
all those.
And then abantu bafika bathi mina ngicela iced tea and ngifuna even ama-herbs and even ama-ini.
That's another brewing method. We do that too. There's a process into it.
Of course.
Now that ends you the title of barista.
Fantastic. What is a barista? So a barista is a person who can make mutswakonyana. Like you're basically like a pharmacist of some description, but you brew coffees.
Yeah, using coffee as your main ingredient. We will have tea as well.
Yeah. Okay. So you obviously didn't just start by running a business. Please talk to me a little bit about your journey to then becoming this person who decides 2016, this is it, I'm doing this business. And was it your first business as well? So
the first to have been hands-on and operational on it.
Okay, can I ask us to pause just for a moment?
Yes,
Kabiso, do you want to adjust us? Maybe, okay, the journey.
Okay, just briefly, from my background where I come from, born in Umzinku, raised by a single mother, my siblings, four girls. I'm in between.
Okay.
Yeah, as much as my name is Banele, but that I was not the first one.
Like, not enough.
I can bring two more. And look, we were quite a small family, and so growing up, just having my mother as a parent, a lot of pieces that needed to be looked into.
Did you make her coffee in the morning?
Tea.
Okay, yeah.
Tea is what is up. So, from that era in the 80s, a lot of things were just given to us. The idea of the business was not something that was always in front of us. The option could just be go to school and you earn a salary by a job. And that's just it.
Yeah.
So it took a long time to actually find oneself as to now how do you define things in your own terms, pursue things that speak to you. But the process started very much when after my matric, when I moved to Cape Town, all different cities altogether, exposed around different avenues of making a living. Personally, I've always had a thing with food. Just love experimenting with ingredients. So it was like a heavy new revelation for me.
This can be a job. Like I can
earn a
actually do
living,
this.
just and be proud.
But in your upbringing, you were obviously taught that you can choose, even though these are the options you've experienced and seen. Were you encouraged to explore and choose for yourself what you want to be and what you want to do ultimately?
I wish that was the case. Unfortunately, no, it wasn't. You know?
Did they bring you to say, you need to be a teacher, bro? One day you're going to be a teacher. You know you get families that's like that.
I think the main motivation was that you need to get a qualification that can earn you good income.
Okay.
So that you don't need to go through any hard time, you know, as an adult in your own family. I think that was the one thing that was always highlighted.
Okay.
And in that process, I ended up in a path, in a career path that really did not speak to me.
What was
Which was, it was financial information.
Oh, no. Did it dry your mouth?
Yeah, I feel like I need a sip now. And a top up too. But it did had good, it equipped me for what I'm doing now.
Yeah. There's surely things you learned that you could...
some things were not new altogether. Understanding, just getting the grasp of things. Of course, I mean, most of our schooling has been about progress to the next level by just showing you know what you've been taught, not finding where it is best applied and be practical about it. So we proved ourselves, we had good memories very well, and progressed to grades.
You know? Yes.
So,
wow.
And yeah, but later.
Okay. Later.
So later on, then being in that city, fortunately, my one parent allowed me to go into hospitality. I took a short course in professional cookery, which then got me into the line of hospitality and restaurant industry. Later on, I got into coffee. Coffee, which was pretty much a survival beverage, because in the hospitality industry, you always encounter, you have to go, your job is in shifts. Sometimes working at night.
So you were like, this stuff gives life. I could make money from this. Is this how it arrived to you? Was there an epiphany around it, or was it just like?
Yes, pretty much so, because it became clear. You know, coffee drinkers are very loyal. They come time and time again.
Yes.
So you can see there's good volumes in this model. In
Okay.
everything that's happening here, because food, there's the stress, and the risk element.
It's like, I'll make you food, but only if you have coffee with it.
And let's not fuss about the food.
Yes.
Let's talk more about
Let's
the
talk
coffee.
more about the coffee.
Have another cup too.
And while I'm thinking about what I'm going to put in your sandwich, how about a shot of coffee? Wow. Yourself, you love coffee?
I do. I find it, over the years, I've picked up a lot more flavors around.
Yeah.
At first, of course, it's the strong, bitter beverage.
Yeah.
Disappointing, because the smell can be something chocolatey and sweet.
And then you taste it and you're like,
what
it's
happened
an
here?
acquired taste. I've heard someone say, why would you want to acquire a taste? It's horrible.
But I think your palate, as soon as it gets over the bitterness.
Is that why people have become snobs around the kind of coffee that they drink?
Partly, yeah. And also the brewer themselves, the barista's role now.
Yeah.
You know, is to apply methods that brings out the sweet notes. Because there are ways into
So there are sweet notes in coffee.
Yes, it's a fruit. It's a cherry. So there has to
Coffee
be
is a cherry?
Sweetness.
No, guys, hey, please comment on this video if you knew that coffee is a cherry.
Yes, Google it.
So if you called your shop Black Cherry, it would have been very accurate.
Could be onto something. Yes, very much so. I like it. Can I adopt it?
Hey, there's already Black Cherry of some description. I think Chef Tash has a Black Cherry something.
Okay.
I'm getting down. You know, if you like it, you find a way. So, talk to me about the fact that you're not only doing coffee, you are interacting with people a lot. There's a lot of facets in your business that actually. So how do you choose the business and choose? You could have chosen, okay, I'm going to do coffee, but I'm going to go be a redistributor of
Yeah.
coffees from somewhere else and just not interact with people who drink it or anything, and just like bring it maybe into the country, maybe be an importer. How did you decide which part you want to do, and what drives that kind of thinking?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And indeed, there's quite a variety of options in the industry, so the number of choices one has. I think the experience I've had in hospitality has been the one contributor to why being in the space where you are serving people. And being of service is not entirely, it's not just about making the beverage and just passing it on to our conversation, how our energies rub off each other. You know, it is something also, it gives you a good feeling and network, of course. You get to meet a whole lot of people with different.
You're like a bartender, but for like sober drinks.
Yeah. And in that case, you won't expect any awkward behaviors. Because after a cup, behind the
But
bar.
before a cup, people are barely human sometimes, no?
With coffee, it brings out more character out of you.
Okay.
And ambition and drive, productivity, all those.
Yeah.
So it is that one beverage that speaks to quite a diverse pool of people. You know, you can meet people who are about business, people who are about art, about music, just catching up over coffee, friends.
So you like meeting new people, you like conversations, you like connecting with people. This is what I'm getting from this.
Oh yes, and coffee has been that one tool that
Coffee's
allows one.
Can I bring you
And-
coffee
and-
while we
and-
chat? Did you have late night chats or early morning chats with your mom when you brought her tea? Is this where this came from?
No, not
Okay.
We got along.
Yeah.
I wish we had that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
the only boy.
You were already special just for being born a boy, I'm sure. No?
Yeah. I think I am special to my mom. She shows me that all the time.
Nice. Tell me about, as much as you got into the business and now it's been a couple of years you've been running since, you started this business. Was this your first business that you started? Or did you cut your teeth on something else?
I've tried some other things, just now when one is breaking the fear of being in business, coming from a background where this is a totally new concept.
How did that conversation go? Mama, I'm not looking for a job anymore. Or, I'm not looking for a job, I'm going to do my own business. How did that conversation go? Or was there such a conversation?
No, well, within myself.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it is there are no guarantees in going into business. You could easily not make it. And
What did you tell yourself? Just keep swimming. What did you actually say to yourself?
look, there's just some things, some avenues that brings out a life experience. I think more about life, either just following through what has been set out and socially accepted, or just making your way.
You're charting your path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of such thoughts in my mind, were there.
Yeah.
So to take that chance, it was just part of the experience of living.
Interesting.
Yeah, with all the
Interesting,
risk
yeah.
that
Yeah.
any other path has.
Yeah.
With no guarantees as much. It's easy to think that when you are employed, you have a comfortable and you guaranteed a paycheck. But it could easily happen that your employer now cannot, in business, have to let you go. And
Did that ever happen to you?
no. I guess I've never stayed too long.
Let's talk about that.
In all my employment life, I've never stayed for more than 3 years.
Okay.
I've always kept 3 years as the most.
Why is that?
After some time, you become too familiar with the space. And
Were
that
you
takes
always
away the part
cognizant
where
of
you
the
are
fact that
living.
you eventually need to go into your own business? Were you approaching employment with a thing, I need to learn everything I can from this job so that I can move forward and next step? Was that your approach to it?
Not directly into business, the thought was not there in the beginning. But the thought, when things get too familiar and then there's no challenges and there's no growth, you don't feel like you are actually doing something that engages you. Then now the thought of thinking there has to be something else. something more to this living being than just this, you know.
Yeah.
So
personal growth is important to you.
yeah. So business has been that space now that gives you the freedom. You make your mistakes, you learn from them, find your own way around, you know, living.
Yeah.
And when you don't have kids, fortunately I'm not yet there. I'm not married. I wish I was. Though. I'm old now, man.
Hello, boy.
But you know, having none of those responsibilities made the choice slightly easier. So I have only now myself to cry for if things don't work out.
Yeah.
And taking coffee with all the potential that it has. Because if you are in a good location, you can make good, like a sound living out of the volumes that will actually make a cup of coffee.
But now, when we have now decided, okay, cool, that's fine, the business is going and stuff like that. What is the one thing that you are totally proud of yourself for having not done? Maybe a risk you took, maybe listening to yourself in some way. I can see the cogs in
Like it takes one to a lot of memories. But I've always been proud of not giving up, keep showing up. Because coming from where I'm from, resources are quite limited. Not limited really, as we need that thinking is not really the best description of how things are. You know, the limits are just in our head. Because to get started, it's just a matter of applying yourself, start with what you have. And that's been the story with every other person.
And have the courage, Mhlambe, to take a path that's not been modeled in front of you.
Yeah.
That will take you listening to yourself, take you being in touch more and reaching out for information.
And open yourself to learning, you know, and accept when you've done things not in the best way. And forgive yourself and move on with it. Do better next time. Yeah, man. It's a tough decision to keep at it, keep showing up, because there are times when you don't meet your targets, and the uncertainty.
And you set your own personal targets.
And the feeling of and knowing that, you know. Sorry for that. I'll take it later. Keep showing up is not easy. It's really not easy. It takes some hard-headed stubbornness in you.
Sounds like there's a story there.
And faith as well.
Yeah.
Because there's things you can never turn. You can Google, you can go to fortune tellers, but you never know for sure.
Yeah.
You have to have a little faith into something, a strength from somewhere than just, from yourself.
Where is that for you?
For me, I'm not much religious about it, but my life experience has given me the conviction that the spiritual world is there, and there are powers beyond what we can see. So in that, I'm not really about religion. I can't deal with that. It's the same for politics.
It's hardly ever about religion, though, is it? Because it's more about your faith in knowing what you know. So I guess what I'm asking is what do you know for sure is helpful for you to keep going? Even though, you must have thought of, hey, maybe let's go find something else to do. No?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
What did you say? What happened? What made you go, on we go? It's fine.
Like I say, with your experience, you have moments where in doubt and you pray about it, you know, acknowledge your past achievements, and then know that this too also can change.
So you remind yourself, I've gone through bigger than this.
The evidence is always in that experience, you know, around you. Even, you know, it doesn't always have to be about things you've experienced personally. If you read books about other people's journeys, if you open yourself up as well to how the world is. And yeah, anything can improve. And times get hard, so we just move on, keep showing up.
Interesting, very interesting. Tell me about your love, because I know you garden and you harvest a lot of your ingredients from a garden that you tend to. Tell me about that part of it.
That part is more about having a positive impact with everything that I do, or that I'm involved in. So the part of food is not just to feed us, or to nourish us. Also the therapeutic experience of working with soil, see things. And I mean even that too, because when you see, take every plant, its life starts from a small seed. And this seed, you put it in the ground, you have to come back again and water it. You're not guaranteed anything is going to grow into this big bushy spinach or lettuce that you need for your salad or anything like that.
Yes.
You know, but by keep coming back to it, showing up on time to make sure it's fed, look out for it, make sure there's not too much weed around it. That process, all of it, so I keep showing up. Again,
Is that like a metaphor for your business as well?
Dude, that's an act of faith right there. Yes. There's church right there.
There's church right there. Yeah.
And it's in simple things like that you get to know that things do get better.
Yeah.
The storm may come, dude. Harsh floods, wash away all of that seedlings.
All those hojos.
And the hojos as well. Oh, not to mention other disease and things like that.
Yes.
But when it's in the bowl now, enjoying your salad. Now it was all worth it.
Right?
All the showing up and coming back to it.
Now you said
you
said the coffee was more important than the food, but it feels like the food is very much vavavoom for you.
I guess I've given myself off in that.
Right?
Look, that is actually a first love. Personally. I wish I had model out better ways that can earn you some sort of income around it. But it's easy to live with it. I'm happy with that so far. And coffee is one. To be the main thing when it comes to business.
It's interesting.
But maybe in future I'm still young.
Yeah. Tell me about the one lesson that you have learned that you just like, you know what? This is my
man. The one surprise and the most beautiful lesson is people see, and when you continue to apply yourself, people show care and support and love, and that has been like the most beautiful revelation. In business, before you go into it, it's easy to pick up the part where it's like a water filled with people who are ruthless about their bottom line, their own interests. And they don't really care about what you're going through or feel a need to lend a hand, or in any way whatsoever. But I think that having been in now, applying myself, keep showing up.
Up for yourself.
Has
had others show up for you too.
Oh yes.
Wow, that's a powerful one.
Dude.
That's a tweetable quote right there.
Oh,
when you show up for yourself, others have the confidence to show up for you too.
So I mean, we can have all kinds of reasons about how things are. You can be appetite, government, in anything. But there's still genuine people, and they come from all pockets of life and race or anything like that. The real one they see, and they lend a helping hand. They're human like that.
That is incredible. Wow.
That's powerful.
So people, when they get into business, especially not in the main cities. I mean, you're in the Eastern Cape, and people tend to gravitate towards business that can be sold to government. I can do a tender, and it's almost like they feel like it's going to be more guaranteed income if they go that way. Was there a consideration, a point at which you actually made the distinction for yourself, like I'm going to need to do business in this way or that, or is there a either or I just want you to answer that with a thinking of I don't want to limit you, but is it either you deal with government or you go private, or is there a middle ground somewhere?
I don't know. I think it all goes with what speaks to you, really. I think because that business with government is not really easy and straightforward. It is lucrative very well. I think most people, we've seen that, people can make really good fortune around doing business. And also I think it also depends on what kind of business are you into. Yeah, there are options out there. If you are into business for the sake of being in business, most likely would have ended up just want to deal with government. Money is good.
Yeah.
Could do with more and more and more of that.
Yes.
But unfortunately, money alone is just the reward of the whole experience.
Okay.
So to go through all the hardship and getting more fulfillment around the whole experience just to get a huge sum of money is not an appealing idea for me personally. Sure, a lot of
It is
other
an
people.
appealing idea for you. Why are you doing this?
The process needs to speak to you. Yeah, it needs to make you feel good up, Yeah, even when the clouds and the rain is pouring, but you need to be able to kick those back and say, no matter what the weather,
Is it
I'm
the
coming
smell of the
through.
coffee?
Addiction is that strong?
What is it? What is it that keeps you? Because I mean, we've gone through a whole year that was so uncertain.
Yeah.
What kept you going and kept you holding on to? Many businesses have closed. Yeah, but how have you continued? And here we sit in 2021, a year later. What kept you going?
And look, that was really a challenging time. I think I speak with many other people in the world now. And this one is not just for South Africa.
No, yeah.
But for me, like family and love, knowing that there's been other pandemic before things have been this gloomy, and people still remain, around. I guess you just hope to do what you can, to be one of those that are around, and fortunately for us, in our situation as coffees, not just only for myself personally, and we've had the greatest blessing of being in a location that speaks to what we are doing and about, and the resilience of our location is our.
You can say second office because we're going to credit them. Yes.
And that is second office.
Yes. Yeah.
Their resilience also kept us, going.
That's incredible. Yeah.
And care as well, and consideration, because I think any other business could have said, hey, I have my problems to look into. I cannot caution you as well.
Yeah.
And
It's true.
for us, it was not the case at all. All that could be possibly done to make sure that we are able to come back. We've had that support and consideration with our overheads. And look, man, like I say, we are fortunate to have had that situation, a lesson like that, to be in this location.
So I want you to think back to the beginning. It's 2015. You're like, this needs to come off the ground. Where do you go first? Where do you go to pick up? I mean, the idea is there, the concept is there. Maybe you've even written a business profile or whatever.
I did once, but look, you write it, it's a different thing when you have to actually be at it,
Yeah?
Because, there's a lot of imaginary figures that you put in there and rosy hopes that things turn around in due time for you.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, no, it's not always the case in practice. You still have the challenges of making sure you have enough capital to begin with. And what do you do when you don't have that? The patience with the tools you have and how far they can take you. I had really those challenges, but I just said to myself, it will just be part of the story, the journey. I have to take what I have. And like I literally started with a home filter machine and a flask.
I love this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the first event that got me to say, you know what, this is it. I'm going with this beverage and I'll stretch it as far as I know it. Unfortunately, I have been exposed and seen how the coffee space, the industry, also can be stretched out, from being in a city that has gone that far.
That's incredible. So begin where you are is what you did. Like start with the things that you have.
This is
right
what
now.
I have, and the space is.
Don't wait for the funding to come and the sponsors.
It
and
will
the
find me on the way.
Yes.
And indeed, all the help and any type of funding, it got me on the way.
On the way,
And that is also one of the things that keeps you going, even when things are down and tough. Knowing how you started.
What it all took to get to this
be
point.
where you are.
I love that,
So from that event on, I just thought, this beverage has got some real loyal followers.
You like to talk about the beverage, but I want to go deeper and talk about what you feel is your life purpose as expressed through your chosen vocation.
Yeah, man. Goes back to being aware of what impact you have with things, how you live, and things you do. With coffee, it's a basic skill to be a barista. It's not easy, yes. It needs some focus and practice, but it's not really a sophisticated skill. I mean, you can take anyone who's willing and happy to do that. They can learn that within a week. If they have the right attitude, they can make a living even out of it. So taking that, if I can do it as one man, I can bring another one man to do it, and we can be a team. And this can just keep multiplying without always having to think that there should be a big entity, there should be big money, there should be this big this. Just find the right attitude and know how to make a coffee. I mean, you don't even need to be someone who have big conversation and smart conversation. With just simple hello, how are you? From there on, the person just goes on.
And a good memory. You must remember what people like to drink.
Yes, that's true.
Because it's funny, people don't like to tell you what coffee they want, do they?
And you
people
have to
like to
find
walk in and order by face.
So you have to find a way now, take it out of them, like, okay, a sugar, milk, whatever that. No, true, man. But the impact really can be great through coffee.
Yeah.
Can equip a lot of young people with the right attitude. And they can also gain their own independence and space to express themselves freely. And that's something they can call a business. And be entrepreneur.
But see them cool now when they look at you, when you go over there for a visit, wearing your coffee cap, and some have bumped into you more to get more and stuff. But
look. When you enter it, you don't pick up. There's a lot you don't see while you're busy, just putting in the work and showing up and all. And it is always a wonderful thing when you meet someone you haven't seen in a long time, you know you from way back, and then they tell you, yo, dude. I see you shaking things up there. You're shaping up well. I've seen your progress from just being a coffee vendor in markets.
From your home filter machine.
Yeah, and now you're sitting behind an outlet. You have a team with you, and and the space is working. It's look, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And you realize that you've done some work so far. As much as you always think there's still a lot more ground to cover, but that really means a lot. And people acknowledge and see that. Family as well. People you thought they didn't
even know what you're doing.
Yeah. And you can't blame people who haven't seen what you're doing, and they don't know your idea, and it's not written in your face. So when someone really say, Doctor, you can get tenders and you want to do coffee. Why? 20 rand. How many 20 rand you get a million? You know, why like a scam?
Yeah.
But
but like you say, it's the journey, the collective experience, the whole picture.
And after a while, when you see that with the same person, you see, now I see, man. No, nice one, Sean. Now I see.
Wow,
so where to now?
Actually, that's my next question. Where to now? I mean, here we are. We've on the 5-year mark. Congratulations. Where to from here?
The journey still continues, and that's the thing about business. And like you touched on, there are many avenues in this one industry. Around one item, coffee. You could be distributing, you could be a consultant recommending which region to buy coffee from, which variety is best, which a lot of avenues. You can just be behind the machine and selling people. So even for us, we've seen the need to be part now of the processing part of this whole business. So we're pursuing more towards that side now, where we can do most things in-house. And also it's quite a new, it's bringing us to new challenges now. New ways of communicating business.
Absolutely.
Fancy. More entrepreneurial stuff, talking numbers now.
You almost approach that like, oh, that's so pretentious. I'm just doing work. I'm just doing the thing I do.
Look, hey, the journey brings you to more things that you need to apply yourself towards. Because it becomes more clear that the longer you want to stay into it, it needs to progress and grow to more than just making a cup. There's other people now. There's more teams that we would like to have. There's more real impact that we would love to also be part of. Other people are finding jobs, and also not just jobs. They can find space they can go and grow themselves into. And our team, even how we work, they have full room to play around with ideas, not even only about coffee. They have room to pursue any other avenue, career, or anything that they need that they feel speaks to them. And it is out of that journey to know the importance of that. People really are not robots, they're not programmed. They need to be moved by something that within them that what you would enforce and push into. So I think we hope that through this will grow.
Wow. I see just so much. I hope it. Like so passionate about this. Thank you so much for talking to us. I've picked up a few good nuggets. You said things like begin where you are. You said things like know what it is you are trying to do. Chatter your own path. Don't just walk a path that's already been pre-paved by somebody else. And these are very important soulish realm things. Because one of the ways that you know you are not being authentically true to yourself and walking your divine purpose in this life is when you are walking a path that's already chatted in front of you, it's paved in front of you. You just pick it like from a shelf, okay, ready-made. But when it's your own, take the risk. And of course you said show up, keep showing up for yourself. And a very, very nice one, which I believe wholeheartedly as well, that whole thing about when you show up for yourself, you give others the confidence to show up for you as well. And that's pretty cool. And your pursuit of impact. Note it. I see it. You want to be impactful. You want to be like coffee to the nation.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, I mean, our lives on earth are just,
Yeah. Any
just
last
short.
words?
Yeah.
Parting shots.
Parting shots. I look, having I would say the era of facing this pandemic of COVID has been a one strong reminder about our time on earth, and we take that for granted, like our tomorrows are guaranteed in some way, with a lot of things like, you know, someday or in future, or when things are better, when I have this and that. You know, there aren't much guarantees on that front. So I hope we take each moment to live it fully, and I also, like, having that strong reminder, I keep reminding myself as well every day that, you know, don't get too comfortable. Yeah. You're not gonna ship out here.
You're not permanent here.
No.
Yeah.
Keep on, you know.
Yeah.
Work on it and have the best and memorable experience. You know, when you're not around, people may remember you through how you lived and the impact you had in their lives. So make it worth living.
You heard it right here. This is Banele Bubu from Coffix. If you're in East London, pull in. It's at the corner of Cavendish and Deborah.
Yes.
And they make really, really good coffee. I myself have to have at least one cup every now and then. So I'm not going to tell you how often. It's been the Soul Dive. My name is Lebo. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's meet again second half.
Thank you very much.